When I was a young man just starting out in my ministry career, I was a hard-driving person, goal-oriented, and I really felt as if life was essentially just a straight line. And you sort of got into your race, and then you just ran hard until you died, or got too old to run anymore. But it was basically the same thing, year in and year out, just you working hard and trying to get as many results as possible in your field of work. But several years ago, God began to just teach me that life did not flow that way. That life actually flowed in seasons. That there were times in your life where you would have a springtime, where God would introduce new things in your life that you'd never done before. And you'd be stretched, and it would be fresh and new and invigorating and challenging. And then there were other times in your life where it was more of a summertime, where you just kept working hard at what God had introduced to you back in the springtime of your life. And now you just worked hard, and at times you might even get discouraged by just the difficulty of what you were facing. Not a lot of harvest, but the freshness of beginning something also had worn out. But then there were other times when there would be a harvest, and because you faithfully kept working in summer, a time would come when you now were reaping what you had sown. And those are glorious moments in your life where perhaps you get promoted into management, or all those child-rearing years, now you walk your daughter down the aisle on her wedding day, or you have some success because of all the years of faithful service. And that's a harvest time in life, and that's what we keep striving for and hoping for. But then there are also some winter times in our life where we've done some things perhaps that have been very effective and joyful and fulfilling, but we begin to sense that things are changing, that some things are coming to an end. I hear people say, I just knew one day that I was leaving my job, that my ministry, my work was coming to an end. And they'll say, I didn't even really understand why I felt that way. I just knew that change was coming, and sure enough, their job comes to an end. Those are winter times. Sometimes it's from the death of a spouse, or sometimes it could be a divorce, or it could be retirement. But something significant in our life comes to an end, and we look about ourselves and we wonder if God has anything else for us. But the wonderful thing about God's seasons is that after every winter, there's another springtime. And if you're in a winter season right now, you can trust in the Lord who put the seasons together, that inevitably He has another springtime for your life as well. And after that springtime will come another summer. I used to think that we only had one springtime in our life, one summer, one fall, one winter. And God's taught me, no, over the course of my life, there'll be a number of times where I'll enter a fresh new time of spring, and there'll be a number of times where I'll also face a winter, where some things in my life come to a close. That's the way God works. And so, whatever season you're in right now, learn how to just make the most of that season, because it will eventually pass and another one will come. I wrote this book. It's unique to me. It's different than any other book I've written, filled with real-life stories and quotes and insights from people in what life's all about. And so for many, I've found that when they've read this book, they've said, you know, this just helped so much for me to understand what was happening in my life. I was confused about what was happening. This perspective helped me see exactly what was happening. Now I understand it. Now I know what God has coming for me, and I have hope. If that's you, then you might want to read this book as well and discover where it is God has your life right now, and it might just also help you prepare yourself for what God has coming for you next.